Yo, welcome back to Street Coders. It's your boy, Street Coder Nate, and we back at it again. So we taking a whole new rebranding of Street Coders right now. We're gonna focus more on advertising, AI advertising. It's all about strategy. At the end of the day, it's still coding, it's still thinking outside the box, it's still putting two and two together to figure out different things. You just don't need the Python programming language to do it, or any other programming language. Every single day you go through life, you're strategizing. And when you become an entrepreneur, you realize that you got to strategize in every single aspect, especially the aspect about getting your product or brand more awareness. That takes a lot of strategy. So Street Coders now is more about strategizing rather than trying to teach you and your mama and all your friends how to code. We're gonna teach y'all how to think strategically, which is just another form of coding. Okay, so without further ado, let's hop into the topic for today. The topic for today is the power of data analytics. And there is an article to accompany this as well that goes into even more detail than what I'm gonna go into today. Speaking of which, each day I'll drop a video and an article that is accompanied with that video. And you can watch the video and also read the article to get all the details about what I'm teaching for that day. Once again, today is about data analytics. And what even is data analytics when we're thinking about entrepreneurship and whatnot. If you are a marketer, digital advertiser, anyone who has a product online, and you are not looking at the data behind your clientele, you are doing yourself a dishonor. Back in the day, people used to throw a bunch of paint at the wall and whatever stuck was what stuck. But that's super inefficient. We like to call that brute force in computer science. It's pretty much the same thing in marketing. And the thing about marketing is or advertising is that if you're doing this to people, these are real people. And so they are really annoyed. And so over time, marketing and advertising became almost like an annoyance because people were just like, bro, I don't want that. This is automated. This is from a bot. But now this new school way of marketing and advertising, after looking at data, it actually makes people more willing for advertising, more willing for marketing. Now, the reason I say people are more willing and more accepting to advertising now is because it's actually geared towards them. The things that's put in their face, it makes sense. And because of all this creativity that our marketers and advertisers have, this stuff just looks like regular content to us. And if we're interested enough and there is an easy to click link there to purchase the product, we will purchase the product over time. That's just how we humans work. And so when you do your research and you realize what type of content does my ideal client like to look at and what type of content typically gets them to convert, this becomes a game of studying the numbers. But the thing about just studying the numbers is that you also have to remember that you are a human and that you do live in this humane society. And so we don't just want to look at everybody as a number or as just a resource or just a potential lead. We actually want to learn about these people. The numbers teach us something deep about what's actually going on. You can learn about a lot of different emotions, a lot of different sentiment against different things or for things. It really tells a story. I really like data because you can just know so much story. If a picture tells 1,000 words, well, the data points on a picture can tell even more words about that. So really what I'm getting at is the purpose of data is not only just to pinpoint, categorize, and look at the numbers, but it's also here to tell a good story, reading zeros and ones almost. So once you dive into the numbers and you see that there's a story behind it, this is your opportunity to capitalize on the story. Don't just say that there are 100,000 people who are looking for books right now and then just go put out some stuff about books. What if those 100,000 people, of that 100,000 people, 30% of those people like video content to explain to them why they need to buy the book? The other 70% needs text-based content, or maybe let's say the other 50% needs text-based content, and then the other 30% needs like or 20%, however the numbers go, needs like image-based content. Whatever it is, you have to go through, realize that. So if you don't realize that, like, of this 100,000 people, I will only get like 20% of these people potentially if I just make a video, or potentially if I just make a blog, I'm only gonna get a certain amount. So you gotta realize what your clientele are looking for, and realize that your clientele are diverse people that's telling a story. So for the people who like videos, you got to go into what the videos are. You really just craft the story for them. It's pretty much the same content that they typically would ingest already, but now it's a new phase. Maybe with this new phase, you have you have a niche about yourself, and that's enough to get people to at least consume and become aware of your brand. After that, you do everything you need to do to close that deal out. Now, from my research, most campaigns that convert leads happen to be the campaigns that hit very emotionally and has a heartfelt message. You don't have that heartfelt message, it don't hit emotionally, you're going to lose a lot of clientele. They're just going to scroll to the next one. Without that emotional factor, what you're doing is you're not building as much trust as you typically could be. When you have emotion and people are brought into your energy field because of the amount of emotion you're pulling in, that takes down a lot of those firewalls, and their trust sector opens up a lot. And the more you just have free content, the more you just are teaching out here for them, they will like love you so much. So around the paid content, make sure that each and every day you get up and give them some real things that will make them want to come check out that other content. That's simple. Really, that's what I have for today's video, is just some quick tips on how to freaking just start marketing and advertising the correct way with AI, with data in the 21st century. Do not throw things at the wall and pray and hope that it sticks. I did that for years and it takes forever. I've been 10xing my experience as an entrepreneur with just simply sitting down and studying my clientele. I challenge you to do that. I challenge you to do the same, and to drop a like, a comment, and definitely share the video. And if you can, also take a look at that blog post. That blog post goes way more in depth to what I did today, and each blog post will, but these videos would be pretty much a summary of the blog post and the things that we spoke about in the blog post. But definitely check out the blog post, and I'll see y'all tomorrow in the next video. Deuces.